Imagine this. You walk into a Mercedes dealership looking for something powerful, luxurious, and electrified, but not too extreme. You spot the badge, E53 Hybrid 4Matic Plus. Doesn't exactly scream super sedan, right? But the moment you put your foot down, this car goes full beast mode. Welcome to the all-new 2025 Mercedes-AMG E53 Hybrid. It's not the legendary E63, but by the numbers it might as well be. So what's in a name? Turns out, quite a lot. Let's break it down. The E53 badge used to mean reasonably quick, a good middle ground between basic Benz and full-blown AMG madness. But this new E53, it's something else. With 604 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque, it's practically breathing down the neck of the old E63S with its twin-turbo V8. For context, the outgoing E63 had 603 horsepower and 627 pound-feet of torque. Yes, it's down on torque. But don't forget, this new E53 is a plug-in hybrid, and that means instant electric torque. While the old-school V8 takes a second to wake up, this hybrid is already halfway there. It's always ready. There is one catch: weight. The 2025 E53 Hybrid is heavy. We're talking 5,309 pounds, more than 800 pounds heavier than the last E63S sedan we tested. That's a big deal. But somehow, Mercedes-AMG made the numbers work. This car rockets from 0 to 60 in just 3.3 seconds. That's quicker than Mercedes claims and only a blink behind the E63's 3.0-second launch. It finishes the quarter mile in 11.7 seconds at 120 mph. Again, just half a second behind the old V8-powered E63. That's absurd performance for something not called E63, and get this, it actually stops better. From 60 mph, the E53 pulls itself to a halt in just 102 feet. Credit goes to its mix of mechanical brakes and 120 kilowatts of regenerative braking. Even the E63 needed more room to stop. On the track, it's a similar story. Around the figure 8, the E53 clocked in at 24.1 seconds with 0.84 average Gs. That's solid. The old E63 did it slightly quicker, but it also had less weight to carry. On the skid pad, the E53 pulled 0.93 Gs, not far behind the E63's 0.97. Again, this is a plug-in hybrid sedan doing this. But what really sets the E53 apart is how it feels. The old E63 had one mode, Savage. The V8 was always loud, always angry. The E53, it's a shapeshifter. In EV mode, it's like a whisper. Around town, it drives like a quiet luxury car. You can cruise electric only even at freeway speeds. On a full charge, Mercedes claims 42 miles of electric range. Our test car showed 49. That's enough for most commutes. But switch to Sport Plus, and it transforms. Now you've got a full 604. Horses ready to pounce. Even if the battery's low, it keeps enough juice saved just for performance. The hybrid system never feels lazy. If anything, it surprises you. When you hit the accelerator, the E53 doesn't punch you in the gut like a V8. Instead, it launches you with a smooth but powerful surge. It's not a jolt. It's a wave. And at higher revs, it actually gets more exciting. The top-end pull feels electric in its own way. That said, if you plan to use the paddle shifters, you'd better be sharp. The transmission wants to rely on torque instead of revs, so if you want that full-throttle thrill, be ready to hit your marks. Miss a shift, and you'll find yourself bumping into the rev limiter. Braking is a bit of an adjustment too. The pedal is longer and softer than we're used to from AMG, but once you learn how to modulate it, it's rock solid. Fade? Not a chance. Steel rotors, but they feel like track-ready ceramics on public roads. Now, let's talk about agility. The rear differential in this car is a thing of beauty. It tosses just enough power to the outside wheel in corners to help rotate the car effortlessly. It's not tail-happy unless you want it to be. You can play with the rear end, but you're never out of control. It's AMG magic, but smart. Even the sound is interesting. The inline-six has a nice tone, subtle, refined. but it's not shouting at you. It's enhanced through the speakers, and yes, it sounds a bit artificial. Still, it's far from boring. When you're done playing superhero, just switch back to comfort mode. The E53 becomes a mild-mannered executive sedan again. The ride is firm but never harsh. It glides over bumps with that signature German precision. There are a few quirks, though. The regenerative braking system, especially in default EV mode, can feel unpredictable. Sometimes it kicks in, sometimes it doesn't. We found it easier to just use the paddles to adjust regen manually or choose a different drive mode altogether. Mercedes' MBUX infotainment system also continues to frustrate. It's better than before, more responsive, more accurate, but still not as intuitive as it should be, especially while driving. Touch-sensitive controls on the steering wheel? Cool in theory, clunky in practice. Let's not forget the plug-in part. Unlike early PHEVs that gave you 20 miles of range and called it a day, the E53 offers real electric flexibility. Nearly 50 miles of range means you can actually skip gas stations for your daily drive, and it doesn't feel like a compromise. That said, DC fast charging is more marketing than reality. Mercedes says it can charge at 60 kilowatts. We saw 21. It took more than an hour to charge, which makes public fast charging feel like a waste of time. Better to charge at home and save the public stations for EVs. So what do we make of this E53 Hybrid? It's not a pure muscle car, it's not an EV, and it's not pretending to be the old E63. What it is, though, is a bridge, a statement. It's AMG's way of saying, we're going hybrid and we're doing it our way. It may not shout about its power, but make no mistake, this car is serious. It blends electric efficiency, AMG performance, and everyday usability into one striking package. The name may say E53, but don't let the badge fool you. This thing goes toe-to-toe with the heavyweights. It might just be the best-kept secret in the AMG lineup. So what's in a name? With the 2025 Mercedes-AMG E53 Hybrid, everything.